I wanted to get a lesson from somebody who's been in the game for a long time, very long time, and has been relevant for a very long time. Snoop Dogg. So shout out to Wallow and Gilly, $1 million worth of game. They interviewed Snoop a bit ago, right? And one of the questions was, yo, how do you been in the game for so long? Like, how are you still here? Like, what did you concentrate on? What did you do, right? And here's his answer.
This is all I do, and I love doing it, and I've grown into understanding mastering myself. And once you learn how to master yourself, everything else comes easy. And I think that's what's wrong with the industry right now. There's too many people trying to be like somebody else instead of mastering themselves. If you could just master yourself and figure out who you are and why God made you, then the world would be a better place, because it'd be a bunch of original individuals walking around instead of so many people who sound alike and look alike. And that's no disrespect. That's with all due respect.
So I really love this message because it's like, if you're really trying to stay in the game, it shouldn't be hard because there's no one like you. Like, you've really focused on understanding your true walk, your true talk, your true purpose, and with that, you have created something that is a unique experience each and every single solitary time. And when we look at Snoop, he's reinvented himself so many times to stay relevant, but it's all still true to who he is, right? There just may be some switch up as far as what is happening during the current time, whether it is maybe a current artist or a collaboration that's going to get him to further audiences. Prime example is the Martha Stewart situation, right? I was very confused. I was like, wait, what? But looking into that interview, and people, y'all should watch that one. That was a really good one. He was like, look, she was looking for someone to expand their audience into a more urban situation. I was looking to expand my audience. We both needed each other. We actually talked, and we had actually a lot of common, like, it was a really cool vibe to where we created a unique and needed partnership, and that is a whole another side of the collaboration of, like, not necessarily collaborating with people in your industry, but collaborating with people who have separate cultures, separate ethnicities, like traditions, like that type of audience that you normally would never get in front. Never. Like, no one would think Snoop would ever get in front of a Martha Stewart audience.
Yeah.
Nor did we think Martha Stewart would get in front of some hood people that,
Right.
Snoop attracts.
Right.
Didn't think that. But it worked out. But that wouldn't have worked out if Snoop wasn't true to himself and was, like, he could have conformed into exactly what Martha Stewart wanted, like, or was used to, and it would never worked because she wasn't looking for a her or someone who she's already collaborated with, right? And vice versa with Martha Stewart. So, like, I know we've preached about like just always knowing your true self. We've talked about the flight assessment that we're bringing up a little bit more recently. I've noticed. Shout out to the flight assessment, flightassessment.com. Y'all know the vibes. But really maybe focusing on this quarter of understanding self. Because when you understand self, then the business sides work so much easier and smoother. The branding side runs so much smoother because you know who you are and you know what you have to offer to the workplace, to the industry, to the world. It's not anything that we've seen or heard. But the normal problem that we've even figured out is that sometimes we downplay what's unique about us. And so when we downplay it, we can't really necessarily master it because we're not putting true value to it. And we have to look at it like we can't just selectively identify gaps.
Right. That's good.
You know, like we have to look at all that the industry has and all that it doesn't have. And what do we give to that? Big or small? Because even the small has an audience that needs that. And so I really like and really want to hone in on mastering like self, right? We do that, we preach that all the time, whoop-de-woo. But if we continue to hear it from these amazing people who are standing the test of time, that are like timeless. Snoop is timeless.
Yeah, that's real.
And we've heard it over and over again. There still isn't a level that, for me, I'll at least say, that I can say that I've mastered it. I feel comfortable. I feel confident, right? Showing up the way that I am, in who I am. But there's still probably a different level that we're not seeing that actually attracts the types of collaborations, businesses, positions. He created a whole new position in Def Jam.
Right.
It was like creative, man. I don't want to just say creative consultant, but he literally said a really dope way of mentorship.
Nice. Nice.
Pretty much that's what it is. My role is to help the newer artists to create unique music, learn from my mistakes, make sure the originality is still there. You know, I'm molding the creative side of artists that may be lacking in this day and age. He made that up. Why? Because he knew he took all his experiences, he saw what he can offer, and then he gave it to Def Jam. I'm like, you can't do that unless you are truly in tune with self. How can you help others if you don't know who you are?
Ooh.
Like, let's have that conversation. We want to impact everybody and teach everybody, but we don't really know our true self, our full potential in this world and in our careers. Let's just go from just a light standpoint of our careers. Because if we truly understood it, we would be out of here. The people who really understand who they are out of here. And it's a selective few. It's a small percentage. So there's still more work. I'm just saying.
That's a good word. That's powerful, Nix. Yeah, that's powerful, man. I mean, I've always looked at entrepreneurship, and even just for creators who are listening to this, business people, personal branding, however you look at it, it's really an inside-out job. I know because it's heavily marketed, it's heavily curated, or it's heavily posted, right? Mm-hmm. Like we got to record it and we got to document it. So because of those things, we think, well, I got to focus on the outside. No, it's an inside out job. When you work from the inside out, you establish a strong foundation that no matter what happens, you can always come back to solid ground and not lose sight of your self-worth, your values, your beliefs, your confidence in the good days and the bad days. Because we don't want to just protect against the bad days. We want to protect against the good days too. Mm-hmm. Because for some of you who've experienced some level of success, you'll notice that success can change you and not always for the better. Some people like to say, well, money will make you more of who you are. True, but you can be exposed to a different group of people and they can show you success in a new way, and the arrogance might start coming out of you a little bit more. You lose sight of that humility that you once had.
Yep.
You know, I came on this platform and was kind of transparent on myself. And I said, man, you walked a little further than you're accustomed to walking at a speed that was maybe faster than what you've been accustomed to walking at. And you didn't take nobody with you. Go back. Right? Success can change you too. So we're not just protecting against the good days or the bad days. We're protecting against the good days too. It's about protecting against both of them. So the best way I can translate what Snoop is saying is innovate, don't mimic. Like, yeah, once you know who you are, it's easy to create new. It's easy to try things that haven't been tried before. But when you don't, what you'll find yourself doing, although you think you're innovating, you're more so mimicking what others are doing, what others have done, what others are trying to do, because you're trying to complete yourself or complete the missing pieces of you using somebody else's style, using somebody else's approach. And it's just not clicking. It's just not in alignment. So yeah, this is one of my favorite topics, but you definitely put it in some good perspective, Nix.
Hey.